Hello, welcome to the Context Needed podcast. We're a minute late because OBS decided to not record. And if you could have seen the podcast just before I turned these cameras on, it was just me and Ryan. Pretty much. But I am Kyle, joined with the trash man, wet t-shirt contest holding Ryan.
My eyes hurt.
And Shooty Boy is not able to make it today. He's having some issues with his internet. As you may have heard in the last podcast, he is having some changes done, and I've got a feeling BT are back with a vengeance and cutting his line early or something stupid like that because he's leaving. So he is struggling at the moment with that, so he's not going to be able to join us. So me and Ryan decided we're going to do a fucking Weeb mode.
Hello.
Like Trash Taste, but better.
Yeah, I think anything's better than them now, to be honest. I've just given up watching their stuff.
I like the highlights. But I think the issue... Now, the thing is, they're all decent enough as they are. I think because they've limited themselves to pretty much solely that one subject, it's difficult to get their views and have some of their comedy for some of their other aspects of life. Cause,
they tried it, didn't they, at first, but it didn't really last long. Yeah,
because I think that's the issue with podcast in general. You obviously get the focused podcast, like a sports podcast or a game podcast about a specific game and stuff. And it's that's all good because at the end of the day, if you're after that specific subject, you've got that specific podcast for you.
And it's usually if it's going to be for a game, it's going to be for a game where it's you will be able to sit there and talk about this game until the ends of the earth, like
World of Warcraft and shit like that.
Yeah, something that's just constantly changing and updating and stuff.
So it's those kinds of things, I understand. But I remember when we were starting out, and I remember saying, fair enough, we're always going to be kind of hovering around the same kind of subjects. But I don't want to ever come out and say, we are this podcast or that podcast. I want us to always kind of be a variety podcast.
Sometimes it helps for branding, though, which is fair enough. But yeah, I don't think it's I
100% agree.
I think our branding then just kind of fucks that off.
Yeah, well, I think the easiest way I think of seeing it with us is just the podcast is us more than the specific subject. The subject is obviously a thing that draws us through and has us talk about it, and anything funny we say and all that kind of pulls us through. But with it being a variety podcast, let's face it, a lot of the people are probably returning because they either like your stupidity with anime or my monkey business, or they like hearing about Shooty Boy with guns kind of thing. It's more going to be drawn towards the specifics that we bring to the table rather than the specific subject we bring to the table. And I think that's the issue I have with focused podcasts. I really liked listening to the Abroad in Japan podcast. I haven't really been listening to much at the minute because I don't drive anywhere. But there was a point where I'd listened to it so much, and as much as I love hearing about Japan and the culture and stuff, it got to the point where, because I was listening to it so much and it's the same subject, it burns you out. I think that's the issue I have with the Trash Taste podcast. It burnt out on me very quickly.
Yeah, I'll only ever listen to specific podcasts nowadays. I used to listen to Triforce quite a bit, which is a Yogscast one. Used to listen to Creature Talk, I think it was, which was the Creatures little podcast thing. That was good. But then stopped doing that one. Got on Trash Taste. Didn't really keep me engaged for long enough. I saw Norio was on it, so I went back and watched a few more of them. But it was only so I could catch up to the Norio episode. And to be honest, I really had to force myself through watching the other ones. I only really wanted to see Noriero because he does content I want to see. Whereas the other three, like, I've not watched any of them videos in a while either, because they've just slipped off onto this fucking, I did this in Japan, and it's like, holy shit, and it's like, no, I'm really not interested in that kind of, like, just social media, like, influencer bullshit kind of thing into it, really. It's like, we did this in here, and or we did that there, or this person did this here.
Yeah,
it's like,
I think from what I've seen of that, that's mainly the anime man. And
yeah, I've not seen Giggle only. Thing is, Giggle only uploads like
once a month,
and then he does like a really in-depth video, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, so I
know Connor did a few with
abroad in Japan. Yeah,
Broad,
I watched those and I did enjoy those. And I'm not subscribed to Connor. He pops up in my suggested, and every now and then I'll drop in and watch, because there's a few of the videos that he does that I do find interesting. But
where he buys like loads of shit.
Yeah, so I don't like.
I mean, they're funny sometimes.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in the cosplay ones he did, but he did ones where he basically went and spent like $500 buying anime merch from Wish.com, and just seeing how fucking god awful
fucking
and Tanjiro it was.
Ass mouse mat.
Yeah, so like, I watched that one because that was funny. I watched Giguk's like season in review video that he does, because I do quite like the season in review videos that people do, because it helps me understand how much I'm missing out on because I'm not watching stuff.
There's just too much to watch nowadays, I find.
Yeah.
I mean, like the other week when Jay was here, I was just like, we could sit there and watch anime. I just fucking watched Gardener's World with her. That's how old I am there. Fucking Gardener's World.
Bear in mind, this guy is like 7 years younger than me.
No, I'm not 7 years younger than you. No, we don't need you in here either. Like, get out!
It's the middle class life is getting to him. The middle class life is making him worry about his plants and his fixtures, and how the neighbours may see him.
You've got to have a presentable garden. Surely you understand that.
No, I just like Monty's pretty chill, isn't he?
I don't know who you're on about.
Monty Don. I've got one of his books. That's how old fashioned I am.
You're just saying words to me, dude. I've got no idea who you're fucking on about. Oh god, he's getting a book.
Let me educate you. What?
No. What's he got?
You've got a little book here.
I don't know who that is. I've never seen that man in my life.
That's Monty fucking Don, man.
No, that looks like fucking Steve from the pub who does landscaping for a living. And by landscaping, I mean
you should see his ass.
By landscaping, I mean he cuts grass for the council.
Or he mows your mum's moor.
Yeah. I fucking know.
Brazilian, was it? Doreen? Was that what you're after? Woo! Pulls out the mower. Strimmer. Fucking hell, you're not trimmed down here in a while, have you?
Isn't that from fucking Scary Movie or something?
I don't know, I've never watched Scary Movie.
There's a scene in Scary Movie where that happens. He pulls her pants down and it's just... He pulls out a hedge trimmer to trim it all back so he can do anything. It's like fucking big old 80s afro kind of thing.
Jesus. Nah. I don't care if you don't trim down there. But I mean, like, I wonder what it's like. Hairs. Alright! Shut up! Fucking hell!
That's it. Alright, calm down.
Ew, fucking throwing shit about. Well, it looked like you were wanking off then.
I was, alright. I've been with girls of both persuasions, of the shaved and the unshaved, and personally with me, the way it works is like if you do you at the end of the day, I will have a preference, but my preference is irrelevant to your body at the end of the day. I will say that's my preference, but it's still your body. But I've always preferred to have at least the main area shaved, because that way then you don't get fucking fur in your mouth while you're trying to do anything. Because that's the biggest letdown. But because that's what I prefer, I, as we know, use a manscaper to keep myself neat and tidy down there, so they don't have the same thing to them. Because I'm not going to be that kind of guy where it's just like, oh no, you need to get rid of all your hair, but I'm going to leave all of my hair there to bother you. It's like that's not fair. That's not how this should be.
Unless they want it. Yeah, it's
if they want me to stay unshaven, then fair enough. That's what they want. But I personally prefer not to be.
When it's trimmed down, I started trimming down a year or so ago, 2 years ago now. Pretty sad, pretty nice.
It stops you sweating as much down there, I've noticed, and I like that because I don't like having sweaty balls.
I get thing is, I've just got a problem where I always get sticky balls. I'm like there, like you hear me in the like when I'm in the office, I'm like my balls is hot, and I'm there in these I need some new jeans. I'm just there like trying to do the splits, and then can like maneuver myself stood up at my standing desk, like to get my balls like detached from my leg.
At my standing desk.
For anyone listening who doesn't get that my balls is hot, what you need to do is you just need to go to YouTube and type in Derek Lewis.
My balls is hot.
My balls is hot. He's a mixed martial arts fighter who literally had an interview after a fight, and he'd literally just knocked some guy out and then just started taking his shorts off. And Joe Rogan comes over like, why are you taking your shorts off? My balls is hot.
Well, it's because the governing body were like, yo, he can't do that.
Yeah, they came over and was like, you need to put those back on. You can't take those off. You need to put those back on. And I don't even think it was because they didn't want him to be like just in his boxers. It was to do with the branding, because they have a Reebok sponsorship. So they have to be seen in the Reebok sponsorship stuff, which is like, I think like.
But his balls were hot.
Yeah, his balls were hot, man.
My balls is hot.
You say that way too much at work. It's insane.
Reasons why I will lose my job. My balls was hot. Do you have to keep telling us this? But my balls is hot.
You need to know at regular intervals. Well, I think
everybody deserves
let's go on to the subject that we actually wanted to move on to at hand, which was we went to see the Demon Slayer movie yesterday. It was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was yesterday.
I'm fucking losing my mind, dog.
Bro, my balls is hot.
Yeah, so we went to see the Demon Slayer movie yesterday, and it kind of made something like come to light. Was like, there's always the arguments and conversations and discussions about adaptations when it comes to manga, to anime
to
movie,
live action,
like anime to live action. And it's always interesting because it works. It's always the same stupid argument that you hear when people complain about book to movie adaptations.
It's better than.
What? What did you say?
Dub is better than sub.
That's a different argument entirely.
Kyle didn't even listen. We did a test, just so everyone knows. Like before we went, we were looking at, because we were trying to find seats on the Wednesday night for this last week. And we were like, oh, there's like 4 seats, but they're like front row to the right.
The screen would have been here.
Yeah. And it was like, we're like, oh, but there's no other Japanese like sub showings that night. And we're like, well, maybe we'll have to do it.
Well, I think the worst bit was when I was searching for it. That was the only day.
That was all that was showing up. On. Yeah, and I pulled up the trailer for Demon Slayer in dub. Sweet baby Jesus, never again.
I just heard you go, no,
Oh my
no,
God,
no,
Tanjiro!
no. And I was just like,
He was
okay,
like,
we're not going to
"No!"
that one. We're not going to that
Because
one.
then we asked Musgrave and his missus, and Musgrave's missus Keith said
Calvin.
Calvin said that if we're going to see it, we're only going to see it in the proper way.
She is very much a sub-evangelist, I've noticed.
I kind of hold her to that, though, because for a majority of stuff, there are, like we were saying the other night, there's only really a selection of things which are good in...
Yeah. There's a selection of things
dub.
where dub, in my opinion, will be superior, and that's because what people need to understand is...
Superior and or the same level.
But the thing with it is... There's a lot of people that they'll say sub over dub just because that's the kind of fucking sheep mentality. Whereas what people need to understand as well, there'll be nostalgia reasons for certain things with dub over sub. There'll be licensing reasons why people have picked it as well. And then also, there'll just genuinely be ones which are better with a dub. Because, like, I've explained to you, like, I watched most of the Gundam series in English. But that's because that was what I had access to. That was before I was watching any subbed anime, because I was worried I wouldn't be able to watch them because of my dyslexia. So I was watching everything in dub.
Authentication.
But it was all Gundam that I was watching anyway. Luckily, Gundam has very good dubs, in my opinion.
I'll kill you, bitch.
He doesn't say bitch.
But the bitch just makes it better.
No, it doesn't.
I'll kill you, bitch.
He just literally... He wipes a tear from her eyes. I'll kill you. And then it kicks into the over-dramatic music. For anyone interested in what that is a reference to, just watch the first episode of Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing is like peak 90s mecha anime with the perfect amount of action and cheese. It's the first one I got into, and that first episode has the greatest ending of all fucking time.
I'll kill you, bitch.
It's so good. But, like, all of those ones, I enjoy watching more in dub than sub, because that's what I watched them in originally. But ones like Iron-Blooded Orphans, I watched in sub first. And I really, really like Iron-Blooded Orphans.
That's because that's a newer one as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's the thing as well, is like the 90s had a different kind of, like, yeah, there was some cheesy 90s voice actors, but the problem is nowadays is, unfortunately, like, they've just carried on this cheesy voice actor mentality on the Western side. It's like, here, I'm an anime boy, and I'm gonna save the world, and it's like...
See, I don't even think it's down to the cheesiness of it. I've got a feeling a lot of it is poor direction. Because when you look at some of these voice actors as a whole, they've done some really fucking good stuff. Because let's face it, most anime dub voice actors also do things in Western cartoons and also video games. And when you go and look at their back catalogue, a lot of the time they have some really fucking good stuff. But I think the issue is what they end up doing, or what it feels like at times, is they read the character... the director will read, like, the character description and then turn the description up to 11. And that's not needed a lot of the time. It's like with... I haven't heard Tanjiro's voice actor, but I think one of the ones I can think of was probably... I watched Toradora in sub. Loved it. And then I think I was just relaxing on my phone.
I watched
after the credits rolled. And then
it jumps onto the next thing in like...
It jumps onto episode
I wish he had
1
jumped me onto like the Spanish version instead, because that'd have probably been fucking better.
Yeah, but the English dub played. And the issue is, like, when you listen to the characters in the Japanese one, they're much more kind of, at least majoritarily, apart from certain characters, are much more kind of subdued. But then when they put them on the English dub, they make it feels like they're changing the character entirely and the way they speak, and it doesn't work a lot of the time. But then you can do the other side. I mean, look, Cowboy Bebop.
Steve Blum, though. Steve Blum.
Every time Steve Blum speaks, someone is made pregnant.
Yeah.
100%.
Pregnancy tests over the world. They burst into flames. The pregnancy is so potent.
It's so potent. The pregnancy cycle only lasts 2 weeks with him.
Cowboy Bebop, and I know you've not watched all of it. Cowboy Bebop it's a fucking classic.
Yeah, I do need to watch the rest of it. I think I watched like the first 8 or 9 episodes.
She got a decent way through, not all the way.
And then I fell off of it, and I can't remember why, but then it got taken off of, I think it was on Netflix. I was looking at it at the time. It got taken off.
It was on Netflix, then it went onto Crunchyroll, but then they removed it from Crunchyroll. I think it's on Funimation.
I think it's back on Netflix.
But it's all down to licensing, but now Sony owns them all anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But like, it's one that I always say and always pull out as a superior dub to sub is Black Lagoon. And that's because of the I understand all of the voice actors in the sub are very good. And there are certain voice actors in the dub that aren't very good. But when you put it into the context of the story, the dub is superior. Because they're all meant to be speaking English anyway in the story. And it really puts a dissonance on it when the Russian lady goes to the Japanese dude, speaking to him in Japanese, and says, "You're coming with me to Japan so you can be my translator," when she's speaking in Japanese very fluently.
Seems good to me.
Yeah, I started that in Japanese, but I just kind of like fell off it. Like, it does look good, and it probably will be one that I'll watch at some point.
Yeah, it's very good in Japanese. It's just superior in dub.
At the moment, I'm just not really watching much anime.
I've not watched, apart from that Demon Slayer movie, I've not watched anything for a good few years now. I've watched like a few bits here and there. Like
You've not watched anything all the way through, though, have you? No.
Watched Mushoku Tensei all the way through. But that's because that was one that I'd been reading beforehand anyway. And,
yeah. And
I really do like that as an isekai because it has all the tropes of the isekai but done correct. So I think it's like I was telling you at work once where the guy is human garbage. The guy is not a good guy in our world. He dies, and it turns out the reason why he's not a good guy is because of all this trauma he's got from school. Now he goes into this other world, and usually when they go into this other world, that's it. They're all fine and dandy, living in this new world and being the best of it all. He's not. He still has his trauma because he still remembers it. He still has a fear of going outside. And it shows him growing and learning and working through that in the show to then go on his journey, then go on to his kind of new life, which I think works so much better. So I watched Reincarnation of a Slime. I watched the first season of that, tried to watch all the OVAs, but then all the sub OVAs got taken down and they only had the dubs, which really was like, I'm not dealing with that.
I got through to part of it, and I was just like last episode. There's literally like 2 episodes left. I was like, nah, fam.
That was one of those popcorn ones for me. Just put it on because it's got some.
Yeah.
I do.
It started off good, bro.
Do you want to say that again?
It started off good, but didn't go anywhere for me.
Yeah, I think for me, I watch a lot of isekais, and I just always have been more of a fan of isekais because of
a man of poor taste in flavour.
Well, I
You will
think
next. You'll be telling me mayonnaise is spicy.
mayonnaise is disgusting by itself.
Well, no, well, fucking hell, yeah. You don't know. I don't just fucking go downstairs, open up the mayo jar, and start spooning it out.
There are people that can do that.
I love mayonnaise.
There are people that can do that, and you know it. It's fucking gross.
There's gonna be some sick fuck somewhere. Probably somebody we know at work as well. That wouldn't surprise me. Everyone goes back into the office, then just one of these new buggers who started with us is just sat in the corner like.
Oh, what are you having for lunch? Just gets out a big fucking tub of Hellman's.
Slams down the Hellman's jar, opens it up, and then puts one of those straw, the jar lids for the hipster girls with the straws in them.
No, he has a crazy straw so you can watch it go through it all.
Jesus Christ, that man can suck better than a prostitute selling herself on the corner. He watered that down.
There are, going with anime, there are like, there's so many like that I need to watch, that I've been meaning to watch, and I've just not gotten round to it. I've just put it off, or I mean, it doesn't help at the minute that I'm going through Persona 5 Royal. I'm 106 hours into that game now.
You keep doing this though, do you, dude? It's like, so if your chill time, like after work, instead of sitting down at your desk and watching something, you go downstairs, sit on your sofa, you'll load up your PS5, and you'll play something on there.
If I was going to be watching anything anyway, it'd be down there. I don't really watch.
You're not watching much on your desktop.
No, I have.
Even then, it's like what you're doing is instead you're doing something a little bit more kind of like hands-on, rather than just sitting there like a fish watching TV.
Yeah, but I have been very slowly getting through Kengan Ashura, like on lunch breaks and stuff at work. So I've rewatched the first season of that because I kind of watched it while zoning out. And I've watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the second season, and I do quite like that one. It's a 3D one with a bit of weirder stuff here and there, but I think I kind of gel with that one because it is all about combat and fighting and all that kind of stuff. And it's ridiculously over the top in every sense of the way, but a lot of the techniques used at times are genuine techniques. So it is. I do find that one really interesting.
I had been watching Mobile Suit Gundam while working, so the OG.
Granddaddy.
It was on Crunchyroll. Yeah. I got up to episode 14, and I just need to go back and continue watching it.
Was you watching it sub?
I've been training a new guy. Subtitles. Yeah. The fucking first episode is like, bitch slaps this girl. She's like, her mum's just been blown up, and he's like, fucking have it. I'm like,
I think that happens in a lot of the original ones. I'm sure in Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta, a girl, the lead character in Gundam Zeta is called Camille, and literally that pretty much the entire fucking thing spirals out because some dude calls him a girl's name. Basically says he's got a girl's name, and he fucking dives over the banisters to punch this dude. But I think, like, I'm sure at some point in the beginning episode as well, one of his friends who's a girl says something that annoys him, and he bitch slaps her as well. It's weird when you
bitch slapped me.
When you think about it, there's a lot of animes where that happens. High School of the Dead has that happen in the first episode as well.
Oh god, yeah.
Because he dives into her classroom, and everyone's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he's trying to drag her out, and she starts having to go at him, and he just fucking slaps her to just tell her to fucking come along.
But it's the bit where it's like, but in like with these older anime, it's like, oh, okay, different era, different thing. So it's like that's how people would have been back in like the 80s when this shit was being written. And that's the thing, is it's like it was just a bit surprising because you just forget that that's how things were. But I did see when I was out in town the other day, and we were going through the shops, me and Jay, we saw they do a manga version of it in these really nice hardbacks. Yeah,
Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin.
Yes.
That's a different story.
Was it a different story?
That's I think that story. Yeah,
I saw that, so I just need.
Yeah.
I want to pick them up, but it's just
they're apparently
got money.
yeah, they're apparently very good stories. I think from what I remember, it's based off of Shah's perspective. I think Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin is all from Shah's perspective, from what I remember. I could be wrong, because I haven't.
When one of us gets it and we read it, we will know.
Yeah, I've never actually read a Gundam manga, because obviously usually their original stories are animation kind of thing. Yeah. There's always side shoots on manga. Like there's quite a few. I think there's a few 00 Gundam side shoots on manga, which continue the story later on. I think there's also Gundam Wing ones as well. I think there's one that I can't remember if it was made into a Japanese only short animation or something, but
just into an OVA.
Yeah, but there's because there's Gundam Wing, and there's Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which is set after the original story, and then there's one which is called something like Gundam Wing Eternal Night or Eternal Platinum or something. I don't know. It's got some weird name. But that one's set way far into the future, where the main character's been cryo sleeped or something. Some of the main characters have been cryo sleeped, and that one I think puts more the emphasis on the romance as well. But it has, from what I remember, a real fucking badass mobile suit which hasn't had a model yet. And it's basically it's this one with the wings, but it makes it have fucking 8 wings, fucking Archangel style. It's just bruh.
Just they're trying to make it, but they're just sat here how the fuck are we gonna make this thing balance?
Well, it's just how are we gonna make it more badass than when we already gave it angel wings? Give it more angel wings. Give it more wings.
Give it more wings, baby. More power, baby.
I'm just gonna try and find that. Find an image of it, because it was just honestly.
I tell a lie as well about anime I've watched. I am now up to date with Dr. Stone.
Bruh.
I'm sorry, I am tired.
I can't fucking understand a word you say when you saying that though.
Wake me up! Wake me up from this nightmare!
Wake me up!
Wake me up! Oh my god, that would have been fucking perfect for somebody to shout in the film. Wake me up inside, save me. Yeah, up to date on Dr. Stone. That's a banger.
Yeah.
I've
never watched that.
Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
I've heard good things about that.
That's got another season coming out. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid's just cute as fuck. It's just nice and chill. I have got that Don't Toy With Me Miss Negatoro, but I'm not too bothered about that.
I'm not interested in that one.
I literally just put everything in my queue. To Your Eternity is another one which is meant to be really good.
Which one's that
I need to watch. An orb is tossed upon the earth. It transforms to match its surrounding environment. First a rock, then Mars, then a dying wolf. The wolf returns to its last remaining family, a boy living alone in a small home in the snow. 7 Knights Revolution, hero successor. Probably a sequel. Don't know if we ever got the prequel. 86. So 86 the number, and then 86 the word.
86, yeah. I think I've heard of that one. I've just not actually...
Yeah. Koikimo?
I've figured out the name of the... It was a novel, not a series. And it was called New Mobile Report Gundam Wing Frozen Teardrop.
Not a mouthful at all.
Well, no. That's the thing with Gundam, though. It's they'll have use the Mega Beam Launcher. And then they'll have like the next series that follows on. But it's like, well, we can't call it a mega beam launcher. That's not as powerful anymore. Use the super mega beam launcher. And then they have the next one.
But sir, we've not completed field tests with the super mega.
And then the next one, use the ultra super mega beam cannon. It's like, we can't use it in the atmosphere. It's not got the cooling. Just fire it, damn it.
I'll kill you, bitch.
Oh wow, the
I've
suit
got
is literally called the Snow
Higehiro.
White.
After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. That's
I've
not going
heard
to be
about
fucking
that
made
one.
it up. I've got a bunch. There's like the quintessential quintuplets, which
I've heard-
read the manga, and it's fucking banger.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
But I've not kept up to date with it on the manga.
Okay,
I
so
started Haikyuu, but it's not my thing.
I'm not interested. I don't really care for sports manga unless it's combat sports manga, and a lot of the time that pisses me off because it goes like, oh, he's powering up his ultimate move. It's like he's fighting. Can you just fighting's cool. It's like, fighting's cool without stupid special moves. Just let the fighting happen, please.
Let them fight. Hunter x Hunter, I got to episode 15.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I've heard good things, but again, I've never bothered looking into it. I mean,
Attack on Titan, I am
I've not.
refusing to watch.
I'm not massively worried about that one.
I've read it. I know what happens, and it's a fucking shit show. Awful. Absolutely awful. We lose the greatest mangaka ever, but we're allowed to have this shit fucking finished?
Oh yeah, that don't. Oh.
I
get sad. I get sad every time I remember that Kintaro
Every
Miura's
time you
passed
remember
away.
that
It
Issey
makes me
Miura's
sad
dead.
so
Yeah.
much. So my cue,
That's me driving. That's when I'm driving anywhere and I'm just playing the remixes, crying.
So my
So it's
cue
raining.
is a bit weird. So I've got one that's called Sing Yesterday for me, which
The
looks.
fuck?
It looks like, from what I remember, it's like people around my age, kind of. I like the existential depressing ones. Okay, so that's what it kind of looked like to me. So I put that one in there.
I'm in no mentally fit state to be watching those types of anime right now.
I've got Monster Girl Doctor in there because it was just funny Monster Girl stuff, and I miss Monster Musume.
Oh, I've got that in my queue, but I didn't even like Monster Musume, so it's like
I love Monster Musume. I love that show. I've got Fire Force.
I bet
in
you were
there.
all over that fucking bird girl, weren't you?
No, not the Bird Girl. Which one was my favourite? I liked the Arachnid. She was nice. And
Okay.
the Lamia, the Snake Girl.
The snake girl. Oh, she did my fucking head in. It was a darling. Did she say darling?
Darling.
There's only one anime girl who can get away with that.
She came afterwards, and
Fucking 02.
yeah, she came afterwards. She stole it from Monster Musume.
Yeah, and you know what? She did a better fucking job.
No, Monster Musume is better. At least Monster
Demon
Musume
girls,
doesn't have a
demon
shit
girls
ending.
over snake girls.
She's not a demon.
Power
Is
to the
she?
people. She's basically a demon.
Okay. I've got Fire Force in my queue that I've been meaning to watch. Cowboy Bebop is still
It's
on
okay.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, they might have got it back now.
Yeah. Anohana is one that I've been meaning to watch for about 7 years now. And I've been putting it off every single time because Anohana's one of those ones where it's basically cry porn. It's like, you watch this anime if you want to go cry.
Yeah, I don't need anything like that right now.
Food Wars I gave up on because the last series was fucking trash.
Oh, the pacing was crap, but I still loved it. I waited until it all came out and then just spaffed through it.
Yeah, I tried to. I got to episode. I watched the first 4 episodes and I just got fucking bored. I've still got ReZero in my queue because obviously they had the second series, but I've not watched.
Oh yeah,
any of
they've
that
now
yet.
done the second part of the second series because I caught up with the second series and I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah,
But it's like I'm gonna have to be in the mood to go back and watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I've not watched any of that afterwards because let's face it, that's just basically torture porn for the guy.
Again, torture. It's just some other form of fucking depressing porn.
I've got a few of the Gundam Build series in there, but I didn't get on with the Gundam Build series personally. I've got a load of Full Metal Panic in there as well because I've been meaning to watch Full Metal Panic because apparently that one's got really good story but also really funny moments. I think one of the moments that always comes to mind that I see is he's meant to have like the lead guy is meant to have like a duel or a fight with the with like a judo guy, and the girl just goes ready fight, and he just pulls out a shotgun with beanbag rounds and shoots the guy. And she's like, no, why you can't just shoot the guy. He goes, well, I wasn't told that was in the rules. You can't shoot the guy. And they reset and they go for another fight, and then I think he just like pepper sprays him or something, and it basically just does like 3 or 4 different variants of this guy completely breaking the rules. And I think the last one he ends on is he just absolutely boots the living shit out of the guy's nuts. I've got Dr. Stone in my queue. Not gotten around to any of that. I've got Date
Definitely
Live.
watch that.
I got Date Live, which I've been meaning to watch because it's by the same guy as Sword Art, and I want to see, is this as trash as Sword Art?
I've got Katana Maiden's Tomoshibi. I've not started. No, there was a random one from a few months ago. I got the Sports Climbing Girls. I watched the first episode.
Don't bother.
Yeah, it just didn't.
I
didn't really
watched,
get anywhere for me.
I watched the entire series of that because I was doing bouldering, and bouldering I do find quite fun. But as an anime, it's nothing special. It's nothing over the top. I've got Dagashi Kashi I've been meaning to watch for a long time because it's basically a comedy about a sweet shop where there's lots of like euphemism jokes in it, which kind of works out.
It's the girl, isn't it? It's the I started watching it, and the first episode, I need to go back and rewatch it because I was there like, this is very uninteresting. Like, there's good moments from what I could see, but the first episode didn't really pull me in. I've got fucking hell, I can't speak. Sugamomo, which was like a Demon Hunter style one.
Oh, right.
Which I watched the first series for, removed it and completely forgot it. Turns out they did a second series that they recently just uploaded, so I refingered it. And I was like, started watching the second season, I'm like, I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on, so I've got to go all the way back to the start and redo it.
That's exactly what happened to me with Tokyo Ghoul, because I watched Tokyo Ghoul when it was like first being a big thing, and then Tokyo Ghoul Route A, I think it was called, came out.
Yeah, there's like something like that.
Ages after I'd watched it, and I was like, oh, I finally got access to watch it, and put the first episode on, and it goes literally straight in as if you've just watched the last episode. There's no recap, nothing. So I was just there like, I've got no fucking clue what's going on. So I ended up going and buying the Blu-ray for Tokyo Ghoul because it was like 15 quid in HMV, and rewatching it uncensored because it was a censored version that was on Netflix. So watched it uncensored, which some parts of it were actually better censored than they were uncensored. Funnily enough, I'll explain that in a minute. And then went and watched Tokyo Ghoul Route A, which was a steaming pile of garbage, but the animation and music was fucking astounding. Now with Tokyo Ghoul, what they did for certain parts of it to make the censorship work is they basically put a negative filter over the entire screen, and it actually worked really well for certain moments, because there's a bit where he basically stabs the ever-loving shit out of this other guy, and it puts it into negative there, so it's not bright red blood. But it works because the guy's basically snapped and gone crazy attacking this dude. So it works with it going into a negative.
When he goes negative, as if he's like shifted.
Yeah, and it worked really well with that censorship. So that was pretty cool. I've got Chiafaru, which is like a I think I got put onto that one based off of liking Your Lie in April.
I started watching that when I got to episode 8. It's like the poem thing. So the guy
Hannah Fulda cards, isn't it?
Yes, they'll be like fucking blast the poem, like the next words and stuff. Yeah, I've got that. I got to episode 8. That's actually really good. It's just one that I need to go back to and continue.
Yeah, I think the thing with me is I end up going. There's 2 main categories or 3 main categories of anime that I pretty much always will easily be able to watch: isekai, romance, like good romance though, and this one's making me sad. That's pretty much my like go-tos.
I have Elegant Yokai Apartment Life.
I've heard about
which
that
is really good. Just a guy just living his life with a load of like ghosts and demons in an apartment.
Yeah,
which is just it's just like a really good like plot to it, really good story. You know, nothing special, nothing overly fancy, but it's just one of those kind of nice animes to watch.
I need to watch Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, because that's got like 2 or 3 seasons, and apparently it's actually really, really fun.
Has it got 2 or 3 seasons now?
Yeah.
I watched the first.
There was Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, and there was Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend Flat.
Oh, I think I might have watched that one. Yeah,
and then there was, I'm sure there was a third one as well. I've got High School DxD in my queue, because of course I've got High School DxD in my queue. I've watched all of it apart from the last season, because the website I was trying to watch the last season on said it wasn't censored, and it was. It's like, I'm sorry, no one watches High School DxD censored. Why would you do that to yourself? You watch.
Well, they like kind of redid the story, didn't they, as well?
Well, it's because the I think the season before it did its own offshoot, because they didn't. I don't think they was going to do another series after it or something. So they rejigged it so they could actually follow the story correctly.
Yeah. What else have I got? Hanebado. Don't know what the fuck that is. I've just got it in my queue.
Never heard of that one. I got
Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
That's fucking great. That is honestly an amazing series. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. I watched on Amazon Prime. Is that the original series, or is that the 5-episode OVA? Because Netflix got the OVA.
It's got 12 episodes, then it's got another 12 episodes, like 2 seasons.
So that will be the original series then, because the original series is 24 episodes.
Laid Back Camp.
I've not bothered with that. I'm not into. I don't really care for the cute girls doing cute things style stuff. Usually.
I love it. It's fucking great. It's one of those ones where it's just like, I just put it on, I'm just like, this is so relaxing.
Yeah, I don't get into that stuff. I've got one that I've been meaning to watch, Interviews with Monster Girls, because apparently
that's literally the next one on mine as well. It's literally the next one.
Because I keep seeing the succubus that's in it, and I always see there's the bit where she like shows her swimsuit to the guy, and she's like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Good." And she like kind of freaks out, turns around and goes, "Oh my god, he doesn't like it." And then he freaks out, turns around and goes, "Oh my god, that's so fucking sexy."
I got to episode 9 of that. It's a really good one.
I ain't even watched episode 1.
There's a good one. I like that one. JoJo.
Not interested.
Is my next one.
I like JoJo for the memes, and that's it.
Yeah, it's just like the over. Like everyone's was like, "You've got to watch JoJo. You've got to watch JoJo." But
I've tried to watch it multiple times, and I just can't get into it personally. I understand how good it is. I just can't get into it myself. There's a few of the weirder ones that I've been meaning to watch. Like there's one called Flowers of Evil, which was like a weird rotoscope style anime, which is this one's basically like a fucked up psychological relationship one. Because basically, like, there's a really like shy guy who kind of just like keeps away from people reading, but there's a girl that he likes, but it's it's fucked up all from the get-go, because the guy who's quiet basically takes the girl that he likes. I think it's like part of her uniform or something she'd left on her desk when she went to PE. But this other girl saw him do it and basically drags him into this twisted kind of relationship on blackmail. And apparently it's like a really weird, fucked up look at the human psyche and all of the relationship trauma and stuff like that. And I've been meaning to watch it for so long because apparently the manga's fucking amazing. But it's got a really weird rotoscope style. And then going from Flowers of Evil to the next one I've got in my queue, which is Keijo, which is literally all about booty wrestling over water.
Is that the booty wrestling? Oh,
Yep.
I finished that, bro.
I haven't watched it yet.
That's fucking gold dust. That is.
I've been meaning to watch it for a while.
My last one on Crunchyroll is Miss Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood.
Never heard of that one.
Which I started and I was a bit like, it's okay. It's okay. It's like a bit of a cutie one.
Yeah. I've got...
Like Funimation is going to be a bit mixed up because it's going to have stuff that you have also
I think
put
I've
in there as
added
well.
a few bits to that queue, but not
Yeah.
much. See, I've got Kobayashi's Dragon Maid here as well in my queue. I've got one called World End that I've been meaning to watch. Gamers as well I've been meaning to watch 'cause it's about game devs.
Gamers? I don't think Gamers is about game devs, mate.
Yeah, it is. From what I remember, joins the game club. Oh no, sorry, Gamers is about people playing games. New Game is about game devs, I think, from what I remember.
Don't watch Gamers.
See, I started watching one called The Tatami Galaxy as well. I got 7 episodes in. That one is honestly a mindfuck. Like a full-on mindfuck. I was really enjoying it, but I just kind of... I think I stopped watching it because it was around the time I had my own mental health issues kick in and I stopped working where I worked. But that one, basically, the lead character likes a girl and joins the, like, college... You know, they have college, like, clubs and stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
He joins the college club to try and, like, kind of, I think, get closer to her or something. I can't remember exactly how it was. But it's literally a loop. So, like, he does one of the clubs, and it shows kind of his life going through that. And at the end, it rewinds back to the beginning. And then he does a different club. And it does that over and over and over again. But it's kind of like, it's got a bit of a self-aware thing in it, because every single loop he does, he ends up speaking to this, like, older lady. And each episode, she's putting the price up. And then he goes, but that wasn't the price last time. But what do you mean last time? And it's like got that weird kind of like, wait a minute, what? Kind of humour to it. I got Recovery of an MMO Junkie in there as well. I've heard really good things about that one.
Jujutsu Kaisen's good, but that's finished for the time being.
Yeah. I'm still upset it's not actually about Jujutsu.
But it's good. It's good.
I know it's good, but I'm still pissed off that it's not about Jiu-Jitsu. I was like, God damn it.
I have then got in Funimation, Horiyamiya, which is like a teen romance kind of anime, which is really good.
Yeah.
Nice character development, nice kind of pacing. Initial D.
No, I'm alright.
D.
So I got Darling in the Franxx. I got up to episode 19 of Darling in the Franxx, and then I stopped. And then I heard it all went to shit in the story, so I just stopped watching.
Have you watched Log Horizon?
Yes.
On Thingy?
Yes.
I've watched like all of that except for the latest season that started coming out.
I watched the first episode of the latest season, and then realised I had no fucking clue what was going on because there's no recap.
Yeah, you need to go back and watch all of it because there's like 2 seasons already.
And it's really annoying because I've already watched both of those seasons twice and I can't be asked to go back and watch them again. So I might have to just see if someone's done like a recap somewhere for me, because I do really like Log Horizon. Log Horizon's a really cool series.
It's good. Kuma Bear.
Oh, fuck off,
I've been
no.
watching that.
Oh, I've got...
How heavy are the dumbbells you're lifting?
I need to watch that. I really need to watch that. I've got...
Have you Have you been going through Huazaki-chan Wants to Hang Out? Because I finished that.
No, I've not.
Somebody's been watching it on the account. It might have been Jay.
It's probably
I
Jay.
finished that.
Jay probably watched it because she saw how big her titties were and was like, damn, I want those.
I think everybody wants those, let's be honest.
Exactly.
I started Hyoka. Is it Hyoka?
Oh, the volleyball one.
No. That's Haikyuu.
Haikyuu. What are you on about then?
Hyoka is like a club one. It's like a middle school club thing. I heard good things about it, but I started watching it, I was like, didn't really go anywhere.
See, I've got a few here that I really need to get Gleipnir. I'm not interested in that one.
That's good.
See, I still need to finish off My Hero Academia, and I know it's shonen trash, but I've kind of been. It's one of those ones where I've watched. I've watched and read so much of it now, where it's like I kind of want to keep going. It's the same with like Ruby.
You want to find out what happens. Yeah,
it's like the series Ruby with Rooster Teeth. I've watched all of it, and I know it's getting worse. But every now and then, they have moments of brilliance, and I'm like, that's why I'm still watching it, for this moment. But then the rest of it, I'm just like, okay, it's getting a bit tedious now. But I still need to watch the most recent season of that. I got Sword Art Online still in here, because fucking...
Potato Corrido.
I'm getting dragged along. Oh, fucking hell. Domestic girlfriend.
I finished that.
Yeah, the last episode's fucking awful. I watched
it's
all
because
of
it continues.
No, I know, but I watched... The thing is, it didn't even make me want to read it. That's how shit that last episode was. I watched all the episodes, apart from the last one, and I was literally up here, I think, after a podcast one day, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just put some on and watch it while I'm rendering. And I watched that, and I was like, I wish I hadn't have fucking watched it now.
It doesn't make you want to continue, does it, really?
No. I got Rising of the Shield Hero. I am hype for the next season of that. That one's great.
Yeah, it should be alright.
And this one's great. I know you're not really massively into looking at the Monogatari series because of how fucking intense and in-depth it is. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
I've watched that.
I fucking love that show. Because it's basically Monogatari light with an attractive bunny girl in it. So it's like, I am happy for
You don't actually get that much bunny girl, though.
No, you don't. But I was okay with that because she was at the beginning, so it drawed me in.
You're like a fish going for a bit of bait on a hook.
Oh, 100%. You've
eaten the bait, took on the hook, and then fucking pulled you up at like...
They baited me with the bunny girl. And then they pulled me in like a fucking hook with Monogatari-style conversations. So I'm there like, take me. But I need to watch the movie, because there was apparently a movie which is set after the series.
I didn't realise they'd done a movie.
Yeah, I can't get a hold of it anywhere. Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher is in my queue, but apparently you need to watch that on hentai websites, because you get the uncensored versions there.
Don't make much difference. It's all very tame. It's like, yeah, you get to see nipple or something, but it's just like
the titty.
Yeah, it's like, it's very kind of like, oh, then she did something like embarrassing and he saw her titty. Then it does continue properly. Like they all actually get into a relationship with her, because I started reading the manga.
Yeah.
Just knowing that that's where it was going, I was like, okay, so this has promise that, they'll actually develop.
Yeah.
But I just never continued reading it, because then I got all my stuff from Mangadex, but Mangadex has been down for like the past several months because they're fucking about trying to fix where they got hacked.
Yeah, well, that's kind of understandable, really. Why they're down then.
Yeah, they've just been doing it for so long, though, because it's just been such a... Like, they've been trying to overhaul everything. Yeah. And it's like, Jesus.
Well, it's one of those things where they're probably also doing now where, because they've been hacked, they probably had a plan to overhaul the website for ages. And now that they've been hacked, it's like, well, fuck it. We're bringing everything down anyway. Let's do that as well. I got Demon Slayer in my queue, ready for when the next series drops. And the one... the only The Chivalry of a Failed Knight, Rakuda Kishi no Cavalry, will always stay in my queue, so I've got easy access to watch it at any point, and I need to rewatch it again.
Loser!
Fucking go watch it, man. It's so fucking good. It's one of my favourites of all fucking time.
I'm too busy consuming shit YouTube content right now.
To be fair,
Like
that's all I'm
movie
doing.
clips.
I
Like movie clips. I was watching a bunch of Bourne Ultimatum clips and shit the other day. I've never even watched the Bourne movie series.
I think I've watched more anime clips than I have actually anime just from YouTube alone recently because I've not...
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
The Bourne
That's
series is
literally
pretty good, though.
I was like, this looks quite good. Oh, I did watch a clip to Good Will Hunting. Now that's a fucking banger.
I've heard good things about that movie. I've just not watched it.
Fucking love it. Just watch the bar scene where Matt Damon fucks this like little fuck boy.
I've seen the bar scene. I've seen the bar
It's
scene.
fucking gold. That's
Yeah.
the type of shit I love.
Well, I think we've gone through. Basically, this has been the Weebcast. I think we're gonna.
The sleepy weeb cast because I've just
Sleepy
been
weeb
yawning
cast.
the whole time.
Yeah. I think we'll close up because I've got a date with Monster Hunter, and Matthew.
You got a date with a Viking, mate.
Exactly. You're tired. I'm gonna go hunt things tiredly as well. But a different one. Talking just weeb shit all the way through is always sometimes fun to do. But if you want to send us your watch list and the series that you've been avoiding watching for years and years on end, you can send us that at ContextNeeded1 on Twitter. If you want to send us your essay on why One Piece is the greatest or the worst anime of all time, you can email us and we will give you the official instructions of how it must be written, how it must be sent to us, and what it needs to smell like when it arrives. But
This is new. You must have perfumed it in a metric shit ton of manure.
They have to smoke. Remember, they have to have a cigar or smoke 20 to 40 cigarettes.
I think we should
while
change it up
writing.
again. I want to change it up. They need to like perfume it in a metric shit ton of manure.
No, not manure. They need to douse it in fucking Davidoff Cool Blue. That exact aftershave is what it needs to be doused in. And by
Links
douse,
Africa.
by
Links
douse,
Africa.
I don't mean a spritz. I mean you pour Davidoff cool water into a bucket and dunk the pages into it.
So the pages are see-through. Stop it, as we're trying to read them.
I can't understand any of this bastard thing.
Paper just turn into mush in my hands.
Well, anyway, with that...
Stinks like shit!
With that, my name's Kyle. You can follow me on Twitter at IKTOasis. Yeah, I'm yawning as well now. And you can also follow me here on Twitch and watch me play games and watch me quit games because I actually quit and cancelled Sly 3 on the last stream because I wasn't enjoying it. So we're moving on to Uncharted 4 instead.
Wow. Are we doing Thingy again next week? Next Friday, we're doing Forest again to get it work. We're not going to have Neo trying to fucking choke himself out again.
And then my fucking stream just kill itself.
Yeah. I think your dog's got an autoeroticus. I can't remember the word, but I think he likes to like choke.
Auto-asphyxiation erotic.
Yeah.
Autoerotic asphyxiation, I think, is the term.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your dog's a horny little
my dog doesn't have
bitch.
that. Anyway, we also had the Trashman Ryan with us. Where can we follow you, Ryan?
To a place of imagination. What the fuck?
For anyone that's just listening, at the moment we're just flashing flashlights at each other.
Wait, I need to. I've there we go. I've got mine turned up.
That's just medium for mine. And then this is full brightness.
Yeah, because yours has got like a ridiculous thing, hasn't it?
Yep, this is the 2100 lumens one. So
yeah, I've not quite got that yet. Yeah, you can follow me at Corrupt Photo on Twitter. corrupt_aesthetic on Instagram, I believe. I think you'll be able to find me. You find me off my Twitter.
Who am I?
Who am I? You'll find me off my Twitter. It's all on there anyway.
Well, with that, we are going to close up. Next week, Ryan is not going to be with us. He is going to be camping in the middle of
field
in a
somewhere.
field. Hopefully getting some sucky at night and having some fucking in the tent, because that's intense.
I'm gonna 100% say that to Jim.
That's the best joke. Is like, have you ever fucked in a tent? It's pretty intense.
Intense. I like the past tense one. Is like, why can you not run? Like, it's like about running through tents. And it's like, it's alright. I'll find it for next time we talk.
Yeah, find it for next time we talk. But anyway, we're gonna bounce, and I will be here next week. Ryan won't. He'll be in the afterlife. But we'd like to thank you all very much for listening. Thank you all very much for watching. Slipper out.